Dashing through the snow. Oh, yep.
Awesome. Hey, welcome to the Dialogues About Death show, and obviously Chris's first concert of the season. How are
Good
you, Chris?
morning.
Good morning. You're
Merry
dashing through the
Christmas.
snow,
Ho, ho, ho.
but you don't look like Santa Claus this year. You're
No,
all clean shaven.
it's 90 degrees. I'm wearing a sweater and it's 90 degrees in California today. So what can I say? I gotta fit the part. I gotta feel. I'm giving it one up for my friends in Toronto and back in Chicago and Cleveland. All my friends that live in the northeast of America today, where it's like 20 degrees.
They're
I'm trying to like.
dredging through the snow,
They're dashing through the snow and I'm dashing through the heat.
right? I know we have so much to complain about here in California. It's like, oh my gosh, it's 72 degrees.
I know.
So hot.
Oh,
Well, you are donning your Christmas sweater, which you hope to pass on to your grandson.
you bet.
Right, and this is my sweater that my mother passed on to me.
Awesome.
So we're all about family here at Thomas Miller Mortuary, and we're honoring them today. And today we have a really cool topic, which I think
Yeah.
is going to be really helpful for people who might have lost someone recently or have lost someone in the past. Like my mother, she passed 20 years ago. She's been in
Yep.
heaven for 20 years. I know your loved ones have also been passed a little bit
Yep.
longer. We have Rhonda in 17. Is that right?
Yep. 17. So it'll be what it's about 8 years. And then my dad, it'll be his 20th anniversary this coming May. So he's been gone
Okay.
19 years.
Okay, wow, and time just goes by, but
It really
the
does.
but the holidays, I mean, they get a little easier because it's not, like, so much in your head, but there's things that when you unwrap your Christmas ornaments or
Yep.
the special decorations that, like, I have one special ones for my mom or my dad, and when we put them on the tree, we just kind of sometimes we tear up, maybe it's just
Yep.
like a loving memory, or maybe it's an awkward family thing that you're like, "Cringe,"
Yeah. I remember there was this one ornament that Rhonda had that I don't put up anymore. It was like this little Barbie Cubie doll thing, and it was in this little plastic globe. It was one of her ornaments when she was a child.
Oh.
That her mom passed down to her, and she said, "Oh well, here are all your little ornaments." And I'm like, "Why are we putting your little quirky ornaments on our tree? This is
Well, you
like
know
we
who
got
would
to
love
create."
that? Your daughter.
And I've got it in a box somewhere up in the attic, and it says Rhonda's Christmas ornaments, and I'm like, I'm not putting those things up there,
You know what
but I
though?
do,
Your
but I
kids will
do have
love
an ornament.
them.
Yeah, the kids will love them. They might put them up one year, or maybe have a special tree, a family tree, or something.
Yeah, I think that's so sweet. Well, that's
Those are
that's
things
what
we can talk about on the show here this morning.
exactly. I love that. So again, today is how to make the holidays easier, practical ways to cope, plan, and heal. So let's just get right into our questions
You
and
bet.
see. We know that people are watching silently, and so if you guys have any questions, you're watching live, please put them in the comments because we love to answer questions live. Or if you think this show might bless someone you know, please share it with them. I would really
Absolutely.
appreciate that. All right, well, let's get to our first question. Oh, and before I forget, we are having a grief workshop on January 10th.
Yeah.
Our lovely partners, the
The
Stephen
Steven
Center,
Center. The
Stephen
Steven
Center.
Center.
I say seven. They are coming to the chapel, and we're actually going to have it in the reception center.
Yeah.
We're having a grief workshop for people who it's no cost, but
Free.
it's just a way to deal with and work through your grief
Yep.
in a very kind of a counseling session.
Yep.
We're with professional counselors. And then in February, we haven't set the date yet, but most likely the first week of February, we're going to be doing another praise painting class,
Yep.
which you can make a loved one more of a creative outlet
Yes.
for your grief. And
Where
so
you can
those are
express
two.
yourself through paint, and it's going to be kind of based kind of around Valentine's Day and your loved one, and thinking of your loved one that you may have lost,
Yep.
and maybe painting a little memory of them. So that'll be in February. So we're looking forward to having that event there too.
Yeah, and we're also talking about maybe doing some more movies in the mortuary,
Yeah,
maybe
I think
around.
so. Next
Yeah,
year is our 200th and 50th anniversary of America. So I'm thinking maybe next summer we might have some movie nights at the mortuary summer edition.
nice. I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it was so great for Dios dos Muertos. We showed Coco, and the showing was great. People who left were like, "Ah, please do this again." They had so
Yep.
much fun. So I love it. All right, let's get into the first question. So the first question is going to be: when the first holiday without a loved one arrives, what are three practical coping moves to get through the day without feeling overwhelmed? And I'm going to go off screen so you can answer.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let's at least try to get one or two. I don't know if I can get three, but a couple coping mechanisms is, you know what, especially if you're home, you've lost your spouse, or if you lost a child and you're home by yourself for the first time. I know my first Christmas without my wife, I woke up that morning and my kids are grown up, and I woke up by myself, and I'm like, gee, it's kind of it's a different situation. But I still kind of had the memories of our past Christmases, and I kind of just reflected with a cup of coffee in the morning, and was just so grateful the memories that we had over the years. And so I just kind of took a few moments until the kids came over, and we got to open gifts together. And that time, that morning was a little different. The first morning, the first year of the loss of our mom and our wife. But we had a time to cherish the memories from the past Christmases. And I'm gonna go off script here a little bit, and I didn't even tell Mary this, but I'm gonna take my camera that I'm talking to right now. And my wife was so cool. She loved Christmas, and we always decorated the house. You can tell I've got it decorated. And see, there's some of the things in the background here that we put together. But I've got this little memory tree that I just did. I'm gonna move it over here, and you can kind of see there. It's a tree of all my children, Reagan and Colin, and then I just redid it. And what it is a tree when they were sitting on Santa Claus's lap. And it was when Colin was 1 year old and Reagan was about 4, all the way until Colin was 18. So there's 18 photographs of them sitting on Santa Claus's laps. It was such a memory. And now I just redid it to make it look like a Christmas tree. And I'm going to put it up and leave it up from Thanksgiving through New Year's as a memory that I have, that my wife forced my kids for 18 years, especially Reagan. She was like in college, and Colin was a high school senior. Those last 2 or 3 years were not easy getting the kids to sit on Santa Claus's lap. But it's something now that when people come into my house, it's always a story that I can share with all my other friends and families and loved ones of something that my wife did. So it's kind of a legacy tree for the holidays. I encourage anybody out there to create a legacy memory of those that you've lost. Something that really meant a lot, especially the holidays, always brings out a lot with family members. So creating some sort of a legacy memory. I've got an ornament on my tree. There's one ornament. And, at our funeral home annually, we usually do a holiday program, and we give it and distribute ornaments, and we'll put their loved one's name. So I have a tree in my home, my Christmas tree, and I have an ornament of my wife, and it says Rhonda Miller. And I put that up at the top by the star. So it's kind of like she's my angel ornament, kind of looking over my Christmas tree. So that's maybe a second thing. Get an ornament, create an angel, do something as a memory of putting something up on your Christmas tree around the holidays. Maybe there's a fragrance. Maybe it's like candy cane fragrance or pine scent, a scent. Scent is rarely relaxing. And maybe putting a scent in your home around the holidays, if it's eggnog or gingerbread, something like that. Those are things to help maybe cope. And it's good to remember your loved ones, especially around the holidays, and share those stories. I think that's what helps cope around the holidays, is when people are coming in and they're like, oh, it smells like gingerbread. And you're like, oh, Grandma loved gingerbread. That's why I want to burn the gingerbread candle. And it reminds me of Grandma when she was baking, around the holidays. So scents, photographs, ornaments, those types of things that you want to put it around your home, the certain decorations. I have some trees in the background. Rhonda loves snowmen. So there's one part of my house that all the collections of snowmen that she had, I put them in one part of the house. So it's not all over the house, but it's kind of like a room, like a one of the rooms of a memorialization room of ornaments of the things that they like. So take your loved one's interest, maybe some past ornaments and things that they have, and maybe you can say, not make it really a shrine, but maybe dedicate an area of the house saying, hey, this is their area of a memory area. So I think those are some ways to help get coping through the day of the holidays and through the whole season, because the holiday season's there for about 4, 5, 6 weeks. Some people start right around Thanksgiving time, take it through New Year's. Some only do it like 12 days before Christmas. So it's whatever your traditions are, but create something special that's special for you to remember your loved one. And just, every morning, maybe sit and have a little time of scripture or prayer with that, and just relax and enjoy it with a cup of coffee or a cup of cocoa or something. And relax about the holidays. Holidays is such hustle and bustle and stress, but it's okay to take a little time alone and have some reflection. But don't be recluse. Don't stay indoors. You still want to get engaged with other family members. Go out and join some parties. And I know it might be difficult, especially that first year or two of getting out, and you're not wanting people to come up to you and say, "Oh, I'm thinking of you. Oh, I'm so sorry," and stuff like that. But you know what? It's important to get out. It's important to mingle and mix and allow people to come up to you also to give them condolences. It's important for people to share their love and their support for you also. So don't shy away from that. Get yourself engaged, get yourself out there, and enjoy the holidays the best you can. I know the first year or two is difficult, but as the years go on, it's still a celebration of memories of remembering those loved ones and all the wonderful things you did in the past.
I love that. And look, you didn't even think you could do more than one. You did
Look at that.
4.
I did 4 or 5. I just kept
Wow.
going. Look at that. I'm a rock star today. What can I say?
You are on fire. I love it. No, seriously, those are all fantastic. And I love the legacy tree that you
Oh my
created.
gosh. So, and you
And
know
I
what?
love that you force your kids, because I do stuff like that and my kids will roll their eyes. I'm like, no, no, no. You're going to like
So,
this
so
someday.
Rhonda started the frame, and it was just like rows of pictures, and there was like 18 squares, but 4 of them were not done yet. And my
Oh,
son came to me just around Thanksgiving. He was up at the house, and the frame was out in the garage. It's been out there for 7 years. And he
right.
goes, "Dad," he goes, "have you ever found those pictures?" And I'm like, Colin, I found the last 4 photographs last year in the master bedroom. I pulled one of the drawers open, and there were the 4 photographs. I'm like, "Oh my God, I got to get this frame done." And so I told Colin, I said, "Yeah," I go, "you got the time?" He goes, "Dad," he goes, "I'll take care of it." I go, "Here's the frame, here are the photographs." He took it down to a frame shop down in Orange County. And I said, "Hey, you know what? Let's change it up." I go, "Why don't you see if they can redo this frame and make the pictures in the frame the shape of a Christmas tree?"
I love it.
And so they did, and they were rock stars with this thing. So it looks great. And so
Yeah,
I just bought an easel on Amazon for like $20 because I don't have a lot of wall space in my home, and it's
right,
only up for 3 or 4 weeks. So I didn't want to put a nail in the wall just for three
right.
or four weeks. So I bought a nice professional easel, and I just set it on the easel. So it's in my dining room.
I love it. And that's such a special thing to look at every year to see the kids.
Yeah.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, when you were saying it, and I'm glad you went off script because I would like pull it over. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's really cool. I'd love to see it in person, so we'll have to do that.
Yeah.
By the way, Alex has joined us.
Good
Thank
morning,
you so
Alex.
much. Good morning, Alex. Thank you for joining us today. That's awesome. Yeah, such great ideas. I absolutely love it. Oh, and before we forget, Chris, because I know that we get excited.
We
We
do.
have calendars.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Do
gosh.
we have calendars?
Oh my
We've
gosh.
got we've got calendars for our Catholic families with all
Nice.
the Catholic holidays
Wait,
on
wait,
them.
before I'm gonna go off so we can do
Oh, sure,
official
sure.
thing.
Come on,
But I just
come
wanted
on.
to say that you have calendars available at you have both the locations, right? Both
At all of
locations.
our locations, we have them
Wait,
at
wait,
the.
wait. I'm gonna go off so we can do this
Okay,
and do it right. Okay.
okay, all righty, okay.
So I'm ready to forget because we're so excited about our calendars.
We are. So we do this year. We have our 2026 calendars available now. We have our Catholic calendars. We have our Christian calendars, and we also have our Spanish calendars. We have all of them here. And we have them at all of our locations. We have them in our Corona location, our Riverside Sierra location, and our Walker location. So come on by. They're free. Just stop on by, say hi to the staff. They're in our lobby, so you don't have to like really intrude or anything. Just pull up to the front door, walk on in, say, "Hey, I heard you got your 2026 calendars." And it's still old school. People don't like do calendars, but you know what? It's kind of nice to have a calendar, and all of them have biblical scripture readings or little prayers on them in Spanish and in English and everything. So come on down, pick up a calendar, say hi to the staff. We'd love to have you come on by and say hi around the holidays. No one ever wants to step into the funeral home, but hey, come on by and pick up your 2026 calendar. We'd love to say hello and cheer and bring in the New Year's with y'all. So come on by. We'd love to see you.
I love it. We were just talking about that last night. Yeah, you're like, I'm in a business that people just don't like stop by, right?
People never want to stop by to say hi to their mortician. So come on by and say hi to your funeral director and pick up a calendar. It's on us.
They're lovely. And I say this all the time. I love working with you, Chris, and your whole team.
Beautiful. They're beautiful.
People who work with you are angels on earth.
They are.
And they love attention too. So come give them a hug if you want.
You bet.
But yeah, and we were talking about this last night. I love a paper calendar. Even though I have everything digital, like I'm a digital queen, there's something nice about being able to write in things or put it where the family can see it. Oh, look, you can see all the different things on the back.
Yep.
Such pretty. You picked a really good one this year.
Yep.
I love the flowers. Wow. And then you can for everyone to see we're having a family weekend camping trip, or we're going to grandma's on this day, or whatever. It's just nice to have something physical. So thank you.
I do that. I put all the birthdays of the family and the birthdays of my staff, because I have it on my desk at work, and make sure that. So I have one at my desk and I have one at home. So I use two, because since I buy them, I might as well take two, right?
Right? You deserve it, Chris.
That's
you deserve it. Yes, exactly. Awesome. And I'm glad you've invited people to come by and get them, because seriously. Oh, and you also sometimes drop them off at local churches as well?
We do. Some I know I drop off at the Catholic churches, and there's about 20 to 25 Protestant churches that we do throughout Corona. So check in with your church too. Any church within Corona, and there's about 4 or 5 in Norco too, that we do distribute them around Corona. Okay. So if you don't have the time to stop by, or sometimes the church sales out of them, because I only give a couple hundred, 400 or 500 at each church or so. Okay. So if they run out, come on by the funeral home. We'll have them probably through the end of January. So right now, it's while supplies last. And so I have about 200 or 300 of each at the funeral home. But once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah. You got to get them you don't want to get them too late. It starts in January.
That's right. So it's better to get them now. And they're always out here the 1st of December. So they've been out in our lobby for a couple of weeks now. So come on by while they're still left.
But wait, there's more. No, I'm just kidding.
There is more. So we have more questions.
More questions. Okay. So here's the next one. Again, I'll go off screen for you to answer. But for people who've never talked about funeral wishes, that is a conversation that needs to happen. Literally, it's a gift to your loved one when they know what you want. Yeah. Because we've seen this multiple times, Chris, right? Like people said, oh, my mom and dad never talked about that. Yeah. And you're like, oh, what was their favorite song? What was their favorite flower? Like things that honor them. I don't know. Like they forget because they're in that moment. Even though if they do know, they might forget because they're in grief. Like you're in that emotion, right? So putting that together, it is really a gift, especially at Christmas, like something to think about. So Chris, what is a gentle script or opening line that people can use with their parents or partner that can start the conversation to talk about it? So I'm going to go off screen and let you answer.
A pre-arrangement is the biggest gift you can give your next generation that you're passing things down to. If you are close to retirement age, anywhere from the ages of 50 to 65, before you get into a fixed income, the gift you can give your family is your pre-arranged funeral and your estate plan. It's just not funeral planning. It's your estate plan of taking the time to put things on paper and put them in a place where your family knows about. And really, it makes it so much easier. Yesterday, I was at my Walker location doing some bookkeeping, and Michael, my manager there, was meeting with a family, and the family and him were sitting around, and the gentleman had his pre-need, and he was a veteran, and they were going through, and the wife was just talking to Michael about, oh yeah, I want to make sure he's clean shaven because he wants to be in his uniform. And this guy's in his 70s or 80s now, but he's going to be put back into his military uniform. And Michael says, well, can I take you into the other room and show you the casket that he already chose, The family already, it's like they didn't have to make any decisions. Michael was just going through and reviewing everything with them. And he said, I'll take care of the military honors. We'll get it all squared away at the National Cemetery. And the family was just like, oh, that's wonderful. And it's like they brought in the photographs for the video, and they said, should they be in a certain order? And Michael said, it's whatever order you want. Do you want to do them chronologically? You can. Or if you just want to mix and match them so they're all over the place, it's whatever the family wants. But the family was just so like, oh gosh, this is so simple, because they're just having to review stuff, and maybe they could tweak it a little bit to their family circumstances right now. But you should have seen that. You could just tell their emotions and stuff. They were just so much more relaxed. And so if a husband and wife, a grandparents passing it down to their grandkids or to their children, take the time to meet with your funeral home director. Go in, put your wishes down on paper. If it's for having memorial services, viewings, or any time of final wishes, put them down on paper. Also, it gives you the opportunity to sign all your documents too, because so many things have to be done to cover ourselves through the state, making sure certain legal documents are signed. Signing all those documents before you've passed away is important too. So if you're wanting certain wishes, if they're all written down and if they're all signed by you, then we're obligated as funeral home owners and directors and suppliers to fulfill those wishes on your pre-need. So your wishes will be followed out. So your family can't change those wishes. So if you're wanting to be buried, you will be buried. If you want to be cremated, you will be cremated. And as long as you have your pre-need and it's paid for and it's signed by you, your family cannot change your wishes. So it's really for your peace of mind also that you do your wishes ahead of time. So those are just a few things. And how to open it up. You know what? The holidays is a time that families come together. And you're always talking about maybe past traditions and things that done in the past, but say, you know what? I'd like to give you all a gift and let everybody know, so that your children know, and even some of the grandchildren know. Say, hey, this year, in addition to giving gifts, we're giving a gift of relief by knowing that, you know what, someday when we won't be here any longer, those plans have already been taken care of. They've been paid for. They've been signed. All you need to do is call the funeral home. And then from there, they'll take care of it all for you. And they just need to review it. So just having that open conversation, saying, hey, we've done it, it's taken care of, is as simple as say, it's like, well, I'm not dying. I don't have cancer. I'm not dying today. But you know what? Eventually, we're all going to meet our maker, and we're all going to have to, unfortunately, none of us get out of this world alive. So you might as well do it while you're up and able. And for me, it's like I tell people, it's like, it should be one of your bucket list checklists. So then you can go enjoy life. So you can tell your family, it's like, hey, we're going to start traveling the world. But before that, we want to make sure our funeral arrangements are in order so we can go enjoy life for the next 25, 30 years before we settle down, knowing that we have our next stage in life when we're no longer here.
I love that. It really is a gift. I
It
mean,
is a gift.
yeah, seriously, my grandmother, I took care of her last 8 months of life, and she was 97. She died just before her 98th birthday, and my family, they did not take care of it. And I remember, like, I was caring for her because she had had a massive stroke, and
Yeah.
my mom, and she kept, and this is a little TMI, she kept passing away, and I'd bring her back because I wasn't ready to let go of her.
Sure.
And she was like, I'm done. Like, she wanted to go to heaven. You're
I'm
not going to go
dying,
today.
Mary, I'm dying. I just want to go, Mary.
But I would bring her back. I was like, mouth to mouth. And anyways, that's way TMI. Anyways, but I remember my mom was going to Hawaii, and I said, Mom, I don't know what to do if grandma dies again. Like, I know that sounds weird. I'm
Yeah.
like, could you please go get her arrangements taken care of? So
Yeah.
I know that what to do, because I'm literally, I don't know. So it was always a sense of like unsureness. But the minute she had it all taken care of, it gave her a sense of relief that she knew that, if I'm gone and something happens, there's a process in place. And
That's
it
right.
is. And I think something that you mentioned that we can tell our children like this, hey, this is what I have this vault or this safe deposit box,
That's
or I
right.
have all the information in this file or whatever it is. But if your parents are a little bit more private and they haven't shared that with you, I think opening the conversation to say, "Hey, mom, I know we're all gonna, we don't
That's
get out
right.
of this world alive.
That's right.
What would you like me to do if for some reason, God decides to take you sooner?
That's
I
right.
don't expect you to die any day soon, like you just said,
No,
but mom, I'd love to know." And then you can just start that conversation because maybe they haven't thought about it,
that's
but
right.
you might be more of the planner in the family, and it's okay to ask. It's not going to be offensive. They know
No,
you're going
it's
to
okay
die.
to talk. It's not taboo. People think, oh, if they talk about death, you're going to die tomorrow. Talk about death so you can live. That's what I say. It's like I said, check it off. Hey, it's done. I don't have to worry about it. I know it's done. It's paid for. It's off to the side. When you do prepaying and pre-planning, you pay today's price so you don't have to pay the price in the future. And every year prices are going up. Even in funeral service, we don't lock our prices in. And we did a pre-need the other day. The person, she was 96 years old. She did her pre-need when she was 66. She made her pre-need 30 years ago when she was 66. She lived to 96. She paid like $1,500. It had grown to like $7,000, paid for her full funeral, and her family paid like $300 for the difference in sales tax and
So
stuff.
you get the interest on your account?
So,
Wow.
so, so what happens is the pre-need the funds. You come in and you choose your funeral and whatever the price is. Today it'd be like anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 for your funeral. You
Sure.
make your payments on that, and then that money grows in interest, and it grows like anywhere from 1.5% to 3% interest, which grows the inflation of the funeral. So you're not having to pay the future price of your funeral. It
Yeah,
locks in the price,
that's
and
great
so
because food costs go up and
food
transportation
costs.
goes up, and
That's right.
I mean, everything goes up. Wow, that is a really good
So
deal.
this woman here, she paid for like an $8,000 to $10,000 funeral, but she only paid $1,200 for it because it had grown all this interest over the 30 years, offset the cost. So her family didn't have to come up with an extra $4,000 or $5,000.
That is the gift right there.
That's a gift right
They
there.
don't have to put their own money into it. They know
Yeah.
it's been taken. Oh my gosh, Chris,
The,
that is
the, the money that people put into it will be hundreds of dollars. It's just a difference in sales tax and a few of the things that aren't guaranteed. So typically, when people are doing a pre-planned funeral, their family out of pocket is anywhere from make zero. Sometimes there's because they'll put extra money in there to maybe a couple $100 on
right,
average. $500 or less, they have to come up with the difference for the
right.
funeral. Unless they want to add more stuff, they could always add more flowers or add more
Sure,
stuff, and they
sure.
might pay thousands of dollars. But typically, it's a couple $100.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. That is awesome. Hey, actually, Alex, who is one of your pre-need counselors,
Yes.
who's someone that sets it up, she actually said that she's glad the calendars are in and she'll be stopping by to pick some up
Perfect.
because she's having a bingo party at the Corona Senior Center today.
Beautiful, Alex. Hey,
That's
any seniors
so
out there?
fun.
Go on by Corona Senior Center, and you know what? Just to let you know, they revamped and redid the whole Corona Senior Center. They
Really?
put new they've added on a new patio. They put new ADA ramps. They put on a whole new facade. They just had a grand opening of the rededication of the senior center just about a week or two ago.
Wow, I did not know. I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah,
Goodness
so go on
sakes.
out. Anybody 55 plus, go out to the senior center and have a
Dude,
great
that's me.
day.
I could do that.
Me
Oh,
too.
fun.
Let's go,
We
Mary.
should go. It'd be so fun. Okay, but seriously, bingo, there's prizes, and Thomas Miller Mortuary is sponsoring it. So you're going to get a calendar, and you're going to get maybe a surprise, and you're going to have fun with your community. Come
There
on,
you go.
how
And
fun
meet a
is
new
that?
friend.
Meet a new friend, and I'm sure there's plenty of coffee. I'm just saying,
I'm sure.
they love their coffee.
I think
So
those seniors put a little something extra in their coffee too, if you know what I'm saying.
shh, don't tell, don't tell. Just like in the movie Elf, right?
That's
You have the
exactly right.
I have that maple syrup. That's what we're gonna say. It's
Mm-mm.
maple syrup. All right, let's get back. We have a few more questions to go, and we're just having so much fun today, Chris.
Yes,
Okay.
we are.
We are, as always. Okay, so we've already asked that question, and oh, here we go. This is a really good one, especially during the holidays because people bring things by.
Oh,
So, how
yeah.
can people support their friends or neighbors who are grieving over the holidays? Like, what to say and what to avoid to say? Like, what are the things that are just like
Mm.
really? Like they'll sometimes remember that awkward saying. So let's share with that, and maybe one small thing that really helps, like just something that you can do when you know a neighbor has had that, or a friend
Yeah.
that you can say during the holidays, especially. Awesome.
You know, it's I think it's just being there. You know, sometimes people put their foot in their mouth and they'll say, "Oh, how are you today?" It's like, well, it's like, especially if it's very current. You know, if you lost someone here within the last month or two, and somebody goes, "Well, how you feeling?" It's like, well, how do you think I'm feeling? It's my first holiday without my loved one or whatever. So be careful how you place your words. I know sometimes people they're just wanting to be there to support you, but be cognizant of how you're saying it and what you're saying. Sometimes it's just good just to open up your arms and just say, "Hey, can I give you a hug? I'm here just to give you a hug." And I think that would be the most important thing. Sometimes sharing a little food or something. Maybe, you know, if somebody is making cookies around the holidays, or making jellies or jams, or making a fruit cake. I don't know if you still make fruit cake or not, but maybe sharing a little gift. You know, sometimes, especially if the person that died was kind of the homemaker, like did all the baking and all the cooking and all that, and it could be the person that doesn't cook for themselves. So it might be something important where it's like maybe bringing them over a dish, or maybe talk to them and say, "Hey, I'd love to have dinner with you tonight," or I'd love to, you know, can I bring you a dish? Is there something that maybe you're craving that I'd love to just take something off your plate and make sure you have something to eat. Especially with, you know, there's so many seniors that are shut in, so many seniors that could be your neighbors that just don't get out. And we talked about this earlier, that it's important that they do get out, but sometimes people don't realize that they need to get out. So, you know, going over and just knocking on the door, saying, "Hey, I was thinking about you. I know that, you know, so and so passed away. It's like, I just want to come. Can I just sit and talk to you for a little bit?" And hopefully they'll invite you in, and don't force yourself. You got to kind of read that person, because sometimes people, it takes them a little time to get through their grief, and depending on how quick they're getting through their grief, because everybody grieves differently. Some people get through the stages of grief more quickly than others. But I think it's important just to be there, and just to allow that person, maybe you can be their sounding board too. And that would be really important, to say, you know what, have a couple questions, so then they can go ahead and talk about that person, because talking through and letting them share stories, even like holiday stories about their loved one, will help them get through their grief. So I think just having the patience and the time to have a little interaction. Be careful how you word your things, but just be there. I think that is the most important thing. Just be there for that person. And you'll read them. They might say, "Hey, you know what? Right now is not a good time." And then so say, "Hey, how about this afternoon or tomorrow morning? Let's put it on the calendar. I'll come back tomorrow." If they said this moment isn't good for them right now, go back again, because sometimes you want to make sure they're not going to be that shut in. They're not going to be that recluse. So you want to make sure, say, "Hey, if now's not good, when's good? You tell me when. I want to be here," and come back in the afternoon, come back the next day. Let's get it on the calendar. And then when you come back, then you can bring them that food gift, or that little something, that warm, fuzzy thing to make them feel good. And maybe start a new tradition with them after that too, especially if you're a neighbor, for a while, till they can get through their grief. And you'll see, as time goes on, the more you talk and you get to know them a little bit more, they'll start feeling a little bit more open and a little more comfortable about that interaction with you, and maybe start something new with your neighbor, your friend, or your loved one.
I love that. That
Yeah,
is it's important. And something I was thinking about too is, like, even if you said, let's go drive down to, let's say, Starbucks or Crave or
yeah,
something, and grab a cup of coffee.
yeah,
And or maybe it's at night, and say, I'm kind of craving, and you could even put it on yourself. I'm kind of craving some hot chocolate tonight.
yeah,
And instead of just, having it home, let's jump in the car. I'm gonna drive to Starbucks or whatever it is, and then take them by a street that is really decorated.
that's
Like,
right,
there's so many streets in Corona that have so many. In fact, I'm gonna
right,
post them on your if you're watching this, I'm gonna post on your social channels.
yep,
There are a whole list of streets that are specially decorated, Candy Cane Lane, and,
yep.
there's a
Buffalo, Candy Cane Lane.
yeah,
There's so many, and there's just a house here, a house there. There's a
right.
great house up on Chase Drive. If you go to Kellogg,
Okay.
So you go by between Santana Park and Crossroads. So if you're going to go up Kellogg Street, go all the way till it dead ends, right into Chase Drive. The house there, I went up there the other night for a Christmas party, and the house was done up really nice.
Oh, wow. That's
So
fun, right? I
it
just
is.
love that. There's a neighborhood I live over on the south side, and there's a neighborhood, they actually string lights from their top of their houses to each other on
Oh
this,
wow.
like it's like a full web of lights over the street.
Oh, that's
And then
cool.
everybody, like they have those new arches you can get on
Yes.
Amazon, and they put them on their sidewalk so you can walk under the arches that are all lit
Oh,
up.
that's great.
And it
It,
brings
it,
joy,
it does
right?
bring joy. I was just going to say that, especially if somebody has lost someone around the holidays. Great idea, Mary, of like, hey, let's get in the car and just go out and drive. I think we're going to do that this weekend a little
Okay.
bit, go driving around and looking at some lights. And
Yeah.
I know I talked to my daughter when I go to Orange County next Monday to go watch my grandson Chance. She said, Dad, let's go out next Monday night. We're going to go out Monday night and we'll look at the lights in our neighborhood. There's some
Nice.
great houses down in Costa Mesa.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, in
Yeah.
fact, I'm doing that tonight. We're going, a friend of mine, she's having surgery next week, and
Yeah.
she says, "I'm literally gonna be on crutches for 8 weeks. I need to do something that's active." And I said, she goes, "I wanna do something Christmassy. Can you do it with me?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Let's do it. Like, we're gonna go to Mission Inn. And
Beautiful.
we're gonna walk around, get some hot cocoa, enjoy
Yep.
the lights, and,
That's a great
um,
place to do a joint.
right?
If you got a
Festival of
little
Lights.
side trip, driving over there, parking the car, going out for an hour and a half, and just walking around the Mission Inn
Yeah.
downtown Riverside. It's great.
So many fun things to do here locally in our community. So
Yep.
Riverside, Corona, like yeah, I love it.
Yep.
Okay, I know we're really having so much fun today. I just
We
want
had
to
a
make
really.
sure before we
This is one
forget.
of our longest shows ever.
I know. Oh
I
my
love
gosh, it's
it.
awesome.
One
Okay,
more.
so our next show is January 9th. So put it on your calendar. I can't
Okay.
believe it's a new year coming up, right? Thank goodness we have these
January
calendars to remind us.
2026.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and it's going to be the day before our grief uh, workshop.
Workshop.
So we'll make sure to get people to come to that, and that'll be fun. Okay, we have a couple
Yep.
more questions, and this one I think you might have already um, kind of answered already, so we might not need to do this. But
Yeah. The one. Yeah. Let's.
yeah, we can jump over this. But basically,
Yep.
you just want to make sure that it's a positive conversation. We already went over this because it doesn't have to be morbid, because they're not, just because you plan your funeral doesn't mean you're going to die. There's no jinxing of
No.
it. Like no.
No, like
So
I said, the one lady, she planned her funeral when she was 66 years old. She lived to be 96. It's like, come on, people. That's why, and I always
that's
say
30 years.
that's 30 years she lived after her pre-need. But it's like you want to do your pre-need before you retire, before you get onto a fixed income, because you can make monthly payments. So while you still have your income, do your pre-need between the ages like 60, 65 before you get onto that fixed income. Go in, talk to your funeral professional, your pre-need counselor, set your wishes on paper, sign all your documents, and have it paid for so you can take that cruise around the world.
So fun.
Come
Yes.
on. Get with the program, people. Get that pre-need done.
And what's nice is, I'm sorry, the sun is coming in. And what's nice is you have lovely counselors that are no pressure.
We
You
have
know, we have
we have
Alex, we have
Alex
Elliot,
and
and
Elliot. Yep. And we have
Brian and
Brian
Rod.
and Rod and Mitzi. We got a team to serve you at
Yeah,
all of our locations. And it's so flexible. You could either come into the funeral home, but if people say, "Oh, I'm not going to a funeral home," then just call the funeral home, set up an appointment. You
yeah,
can even go onto our website, get more information, and then set up an appointment. So
exactly.
so they can come to you, they can come to your house, and you say, I don't want somebody in my house. I don't want to go to the funeral home. They'll meet you at the city park. They'll meet you at Starbucks. They'll go anywhere you want to make it comfortable for you, because it's all about you.
Exactly. Exactly. We want to serve you to our highest ability.
You bet.
Okay. So this is our going to be our last
The
question,
last
Chris.
question here for
Last
the day.
question. I know it's exciting. So for parents caring for children during their first holiday after loss, what age? This looks like I cut off some of this thing. Ways they can explain absence and keep traditionals gentle and safe. So we're talking about that if there's children in your home
Yeah.
and you're talking to them about maybe grandma passed away, or a friend, because we've had to deal with children dying,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
God forbid, but that's it happens. How to address it with children? Like, what are some words you can use to help a children understand what's been going on?
Yeah, again, I always say I'm not a clinical psychologist. I'm only speaking from my heart and my perspective of what to say and how to say it. Um, Take it to their level. At every age, I always say never deny the child the opportunity to grieve, and be truthful with those children. When you say, if grandma died. She's not going to be here. She went to heaven. She went to be with the angels. She's no longer, her physical body is no longer with us. And there are books out there, and there are websites out there that can give you a little bit more guidance on how to talk, and how to put the right terminology in for the right age of child. Um, there's some wonderful children's books out there about losing a loved one, and if especially around the holidays. So I would say, do a little research, go online, and get a couple. Just don't go to the first information that you see. Do a little research, but I would say just be truthful with the children. Also, if there is a death during the holiday season, like right now, unfortunately, December and January, excuse me, December and January seem to be, unfortunately, the busiest time of year for us. Seems like we have a lot of people passing around the holidays because people always have the will to live through a holiday. They'll live through Thanksgiving. They'll live through Christmas. Between Christmas and New Year's is always a very busy week. And then right after New Year's is always very busy because people will live to live another year. So we do have a lot of deaths around the holidays. So, you know, be truthful with them, allow them to come forward and to grieve if they need to say their goodbyes. Don't sugarcoat it. And I'm not trying to be funny about sugar cookies or sugarcoat. Be truthful, be honest, be upfront. And if a child says, I want to say goodbye, then let them go to the viewing, let them go to the funeral. um, don't deny them that, because everybody grieves differently. And just because you as an adult may not want to go to a funeral and to say goodbye personally, but your younger child or sibling wants to go, allow them that opportunity to go. That will be the biggest blessing you could give them too, because that's how they will grieve, and that's how they will remember grandma or grandpa or any other family member, or even a friend from school or whatever. Allow them that opportunity to go say their goodbyes so they can get through their grief properly. um, they will be more well adjusted if they have that opportunity to grieve properly. Whatever makes them feel right. It's about how you feel on the inside. You want to make sure to, and you don't know how they feel, so give them that opportunity, and don't deprive them of that.
I love that. It is really important. And because even when a child is young, they understand.
They do.
They know that, grandma and that it was their time and they have the
Yeah.
memories to hold on to, which
Yeah.
is
And I
great.
would say, if they're over to like 3 years old and over. If they're under three, they like between the ages of 1 and 2, they may not understand, but by the
No.
time they're 3 years old, they understand.
Yeah.
Um, Especially if grandma and grandpa were in their life, and they held grandma and grandpa, was holding them and stuff, and they were interacting. They came by for the holidays, and they came by like once. Like I see my grandson every Tuesday, and so he sees a lot of me. And then if one day, I mean, he's only 11 months old. He's not even a year. So something happened to me. He probably wouldn't remember me, even though he has lots of pictures of me.
Yeah.
But, in a year or two from now, if something happens, he's going to say, why isn't grandpa here anymore? We'll give him that opportunity to say goodbye.
Yeah. So good. Yes. Thank you, Jenna, for coming on. It's such good information. And I think that if we weren't raised, like and when I was little, like when my mom always said, you honor someone. So you always go to the wedding and you always go to the funeral. They're
Yes.
both celebrations of life. But a funeral is celebrating them and honoring the people who are in their lives. So it's so important to have that closure as well. But
Yeah.
also something I brought on our website, actually, Thomas Miller Mortuary, and now on Walker Funeral Services, we have a compassion concierge assistant, which is
Yeah.
a bot, but it's been trained to be compassionate. And it is amazing how well it has been working for us.
Yeah.
So if you have a question, you can also go on our website and literally ask a question. There's no, um, it's a safe place is what I'm trying to say. It's a
Yep.
safe place. You can ask questions about resources. You can ask for an appointment to make your arrangements if you want.
Yep.
You can ask questions about children. You can also ask questions in a different language. It speaks back to you in the language that you write. It's
Yep.
absolutely amazing.
Yep.
And we're so grateful to have it. So again, go to the website. You can ask no strings attached questions. And then hopefully in the middle of the night, if you're worried about something, it's a safe place to ask.
It is,
So,
and you know what? And I think with the technology that we're bringing to our website and giving families and people the opportunity to go ask it questions, because the questions, we've tried to feed it as many questions or answers to the questions that we are anticipating you would be asking.
right.
But the only way it will learn is by asking more questions.
Yes.
So if you hear our show today, but we're live now, but we won't be live later on. Go to our website and ask it questions
Yeah.
about anything. You
Huh.
can ask it about pre-need. You can ask it about grieving. You can ask it about funeral planning or whatever. What do we do? It's like what takes place with cremation? What takes place with a burial? Or what's embalming and what's this and that? Ask questions and it will give you some answers. It may not give you all the answers, but the more questions we get, we will continue to evolve to give it more refined answers that you're wanting to hear.
Exactly. And
And
if you want to talk to a human, just ask, and it'll transfer the question
it'll
to a
transfer
human.
you to the office staff. And so at one point, if you stump the compassion concierge, it will just put you through to the funeral home. So no matter what, you'll never be turned down. At some point, if you don't feel satisfied with the answer you're getting, it'll just turn to say, call the office and then talk to me, talk to Keisha, talk to Michael or Kathy, talk to someone, and you'll get a live human being. If you don't want to, but you can ask questions
Yeah, which is
about
nice.
anything
Which is nice. It's so
at
handy.
any time of day or night. So after hours, we are human. We only work, Monday
You
through
actually
Friday.
sleep?
No, we don't sleep a lot, but our office hours are Monday through Friday from basically 9 to 5, and we're there on the weekends too. But if it's after hours, uh, we're there for you. We're there, and we want to make sure that if you can try to be have an answer to a question that you might need, we hopefully can give it to you. And it's not to an answering service to somebody that doesn't know anything about funeral service. It's somebody that we have created answers to questions that we anticipate you asking.
Yeah, which is great. Awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll put the links in the comments after the
Yes.
show, but you go to thomasmillermortuary.com or Walker Family Funeral, Walker Family Services. I'll put it in there. But yes, calendars.
Don't forget 2026
Yay!
calendars. We've got all options for you. So come on down and say hi before the end of the year and get your calendar before they run out.
I love it. And maybe you might get a candy cane or a piece of candy or something. Maybe
We
have
do
that
have our Jolly Ranchers and our little Thomas Miller Mortuary
mints.
buttermints too.
Oh, those are so good.
Buttermints are in the lobby,
Oh,
so grab a
heard you get here
buttermint too.
first.
You can always grab a buttermint.
I love it. All right, Chris. Well, this has been such a fun show. Thank you
Yep.
all for tuning in. And if you have any questions, oh, that was the last thing to say. If you have a question for another show, go put to the
Yeah. If
compassion
you have a
concierge.
topic, if you have a topic that you'd like to hear this in 2026, give us a topic where we'd love to talk about anything that is curious to you, the consumer out there.
Yeah,
So let us know.
yeah, we want
We're
to make
here
it
for
clear.
you.
Yeah,
We
and
want to
so
make this for you. We want to educate the consumer. We want to educate the world on funeral service. We want
yeah,
to have a dialogue about death.
that's a
So
great name for the
let
show.
it is. So let me know what you want to talk about. I'm here for you.
I love it. All right. So as we said, today's show was episode 28, How to Make the Holidays Easier. Thank you, Chris, for giving us the practical ways to cope, plan, and heal.
Yeah.
Again, we have our next show on January 9th. And if you want to reach out, just this will be a podcast. So let's say the numbers. The Corona Chapel's phone number is 951-737-3244. And the Sierra Memorial Chapel in Riverside is 951-687-0551. And here's the website. So you can go and you could tell Compassion Concierge, which is our chatbot, you can actually tell the topics for the next show if you would like, and you can put it right in there. So it's thomasmillermortuary.com.
There we
Awesome.
go.
All right, Chris. Well, thank you so much for being the best funeral director
Thank
in
you.
the world. I'm sorry, I have a little preference of you, but
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a Merry, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Ho, 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 and a Happy New Year's in 2026. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, many blessings on your family. Enjoy the holidays. Squeeze all the joy and love out of it you can.
Thank
And
you.
so we'll see you next year.
See you next year, everybody. We love
Goodbye.
y'all.
God bless.
Bye-bye.